I open with this question: can a Christian man be masculine? Eric Mason thinks so. He is the lead pastor at Epiphany Fellowship located in Philly. His experience growing a church that intentionally crosses ethnic lines gives him a unique perspective on the topic of manhood and how the gospel can make men whole. That's exactly why he was the perfect man to write the book, Manhood Restored: How the Gospel Makes Men Whole. Not to mention, it seems as if Matt Chandler and the Acts 29 network completely back him up. This Christocentric, gospel-centered, and Bible-saturated work encourages men to realize the nature of their manhood and passionately pursue their calling to be godly men who honor Christ, love their families, and serve their churches. Mason pulls no punches in calling men out and challenging them to embrace their restored manhood, all the while yielding to the gospel imperative of leading their generation in the way of Christ. Pastor Mason places the seed of manhood not in external features, but in our nature as image bearers of God. So, he wants us to focus on the inside before we focus on the outside. Over time, this corruption of manhood has led to an epidemic of fatherless homes, which in turn has led to increasing social problems. If you want to know what has led to all the problems in our homes today, look no further than our very fathers. Mason says only through the restorative work of Christ can we ever hope to reclaim our fallen manhood. With a new Christ-centered worldview, man can properly view sex, his vision, family, and the church. Men must start to examine their roles as leaders in their families, the church, and the society. Mason thoroughly discusses every facet of family life and demonstrates how each one of these aspects can be enriched by having a restored manhood in Christ. Here's a practical example from Mason. Be home, men. Our presence sets the culture of the house. Men must be present. Presence in the home is the bedrock of being in a family. In his church, Mason goes so far as to ban plants and flowers from the pulpit area so as not to present a distraction to men coming into worship. And what about men in regards to the modern worship music and service? Do we really think that songs like "Hold Me," "Rock Me in Your Arms," "You Are Beautiful," and "You Are So Sweet" appeals to men? Our insistence on these kind of songs points to the ongoing over-feminizing of the church. If you want to find biblical manhood, you have to find the gospel. Rise up, men. The world is waiting. Real quick, let's take this to a more practical level too. Start standing up straight. Speak confidently. Make eye contact with people. Not that these have anything to do with the gospel in any way, but on a personal note, I just think they're going to help your overall masculinity. Also, be unashamed of your study about who God is. For a good ending example of biblical masculinity, I'd highly recommend you look up the final scene of the movie Courageous on YouTube. I'll put the link below. As always, don't forget to like and share this video with a friend that it might help. Go ahead and subscribe and leave a quick comment below about what you are thinking.